stuck in the DFS cash bubble? Can't quite figure out how to take that leap toward profitable results? Most of us don't have the time needed to keep up on all the news and stats necessary to be a successful player at daily fantasy sports, or the patience to read complicated spreadsheets and charts needed to make informed decisions. That's why at Run Pure Sports, we've simplified the lineup building process to help you create competitive teams. Our content team consists of some of the biggest names in the DFS industry, including BigT, Hoop2410, JSURab, AP, Draft Cheat, Mangone, and much more. Our contributors dominate the leaderboards in both tournament and cash game formats. These players provide you their top plays on a given slate in an easy-to-use format. In our core plays tool, our experts provide you with the players they'll be targeting the most on a given slate. These core plays give you the foundation you need to create competitive lineups. Our playbook is an easy-to-read guide to each slate, which will also help you make informed decisions. Our new cash game chart features the top plays on a given slate provided by our cash game pros Hoop2410 and Mangone. We've got a page dedicated exclusively to DFS single game content. It's headed up by BigT, one of the top Showdown and MVP players in the world. Ask our experts and fellow premium members directly for lineup advice in our Discord channel, where our members have benefited by winning some of the biggest cash prizes across the DFS landscape. In our premium videos and articles, our experts lay out their favorite plays and strategies for a given slate designed to guide you towards profitability.
Sell me on Aaron Rodgers. You don't need to sell me on Aaron Rodgers because I trust your opinion, but come on, sell me.
So I think this year he's going to come in. He's going to selfishly try and throw as many touchdowns as possible. I think he's going to be a guy who, at the end of the year, we're talking about as an MVP candidate.
Plus, check out our tiers, stack charts, slate plan, projections, and much more to help you make your lineup building decisions. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at runpuresports.com to gain access at an affordable price. And for just a small added fee, you can also subscribe to our sports betting content on our bet site. Thanks for watching, and keep running pure.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports NBA Hardwood Show. I'm your host, Mangone. I got Big T. I got JT. Big T, we are here on not a Tuesday, it's Thursday, and I'm here hanging out with you guys. How's it going over there, man?
I mean, it's like Christmas when I get to see you guys twice in a week with our crew here. And we got the last slate going into the break. And I know everyone, we were even talking about it a little before the show, get a little breather from NBA, but we got some fun stuff coming up this weekend at Run Pure anyways. We got the huge MMA card, we got NASCAR, we got soccer, we got college hoops. This is the month of college hoops too, with big conference tournaments starting next week. Obviously the March Madness 2 weeks from now. So super excited about that. But yeah, the All-Star break from the NBA, so we get a little bit of a breather. Hopefully tonight with the A crew on here on Thursdays, we can get some winners going into the break.
Yeah, we got to go into the break, right, with some winners. That's the only way to do it. And there's lots of content over here at Run Pure Sports. We're not just having basketball, right? We got tons of stuff for you guys. We got hockey, right? We got the MMA, the NASCAR. We got it all. And, I'm Mr. No Days Off. I love the grind. And I'm sure I'll find myself in some of those streets.
We're going to do some shows, too, for NHL. I know JSU, I think, talked to someone yesterday. And we're going to do a show, I know, for tomorrow, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All the days without NBA will have not Saturday, Sunday, but we'll have NASCAR and MMA those days. But Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, NHL show.
Yeah, so subscribe to the stream, right? So you can know when we go live. But yeah, you'll be having those. And is there a chance, do we get like Big T? Do we get Big T on the ice? Are we getting any core plays from you there?
I volunteered yesterday after the show. I said we need content. I can gladly go on. I literally know nothing. If there's one sport I know nothing about, it's hockey. I mean, I talked about NASCAR and said the trucks it wasn't even trucks, and I said trucks. Hockey, I know less about that but I do know how to stack. Like anything, I can go on there and stack a hockey game just like baseball, and I might hit. You don't need to know, especially when we got Matty Ice and everybody over on the hockey team helping us out. So I volunteered. Luckily, they found someone that is probably more knowledgeable than me.
All right, well that'll help us out. I will say, so BigT, I did use the NHL content once or twice this year, but the last time I used it, I had like 2 tickets or 3 tickets, I think, in the $33 contest. On FanDuel, it was one of those big ones that they've been running for a while. I put some entries in. I literally used the cores, and they absolutely crushed. Again, one of my guys at 2% owned gets 60 fantasy points. Every single team cashed, and I was only 40 points behind, and my goalie got 0. I mean, I really screwed up the goalie spot, but every goalie was bad that night, so it wasn't just my fault. Everyone had bad goalies. But JT, are you a hockey guy? Are you the guy that's going to be bringing us the core plays over there, besides Matty Ice? And I forget his name. I think he's EJ is his name. So are you going to be bringing us the core plays for some hockey or some NASCAR or MMA?
You'll never see a hockey core play from me, ever. Like, I mean, I don't watch the games. I'm scared when it comes on. So I can't do that to the subs. They're just too valuable. But, we do have great content. You talked about a couple of the guys at Title with the MMA this Saturday. It's a big card. I will watch that, maybe play it a little bit. So I'm excited for this weekend.
The best part, JT, though, is you're the baseball guy. You're one of the most knowledgeable baseball guys I know. Hockey correlates really nice with baseball strategy, just the stacking, the goalie like the pitcher. I hate hockey too, but I think you may dabble here in the next week. There might be some giblets out there for you.
This is the time of year when we play it, right? Basketball, All-Star break, get a little bit antsy and have to do something. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, listen, you guys think I can't pronounce basketball players' names. Wait until you get me trying to pronounce some hockey names. I mean, that's just incredible.
Yeah, and if you've played, right, if you have played NHL, DFS, right, during the NBA All-Star break, you play on that first day, right, and if you win, you keep playing. But the second you lose, you're out, right? Like you don't go back. That's how it works for the NBA guys. So by the end of it,
I've talked to you about this though, man. Going sometimes it's fun, like especially during this break, like for a week, to play something like hockey when you literally know nothing about it and just go in and use the content. And be like a sub almost. Be like a member. Just go in, read the content. You know nothing, so you can't have any judgments about the players. You're literally using the content just how someone else would. And it's kind of fun not knowing anything. Like you don't have any judgments built up. And I like it. It's relaxing almost to me to do it when I don't know anything.
No, it definitely is. And I used to play NHL like way back, but then like I started playing more volume and I was like, I just can't, it's not worth my time, right? NHL wasn't big enough for me, but you can.
I mean, how rich? I mean, is that hashtag how rich? I mean, it's not worth your time anymore.
It wasn't back in the day, but I liked playing it way back in the day. It was a lot of fun. So I always enjoy getting back into it a little bit. But all the players are traded too. That's always the fun part, right? When you watch it for a little bit and then guys are traded here and there. But it'll be fun in MMA. I can't wait for that. The Discord chat, Tony, that's always a fun time. JT, you're going to have to get in the Discord chat tournament that they have, right? Hector will be in there, one of our buddies. We got to kick the crap out of him and his sport, right?
And that's the best part about the MMA tournament. The tournament is called Hector is a Bitch, and that's true because that's what he is.
JT, you're going to be in that tournament, no doubt. You got to get in.
Hector is a bitch. He's our little bitch, though. So anybody else talk smack about him, and we come rolling for you. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so get into that. NASCAR will have everything for you. We have it all covered here over at Run Pure Sports. Head on over, sign up. You can use the code Workbench21, right? That gets you the 25% off. But we do have one that's an even better one, I think. It's the free ticket, right? So use the code free ticket. That gets you a free entry on March 11th into the DraftKings $600 GPP, whatever it is, right? Big T. We're going to be giving out a prize for that to one of the newest members, right? That joins for the monthly. Use that code free ticket and you'll get in on that. We're also giving away one to the members too, right, Tony? So talk about some of the other stuff we're doing for the people.
Yeah, so we're giving the one, whoever signs up between now and then, free tickets, the code you got to enter on sign up. Another one of the members. And then the third one, if we get to 5,000 subscribers on the YouTube feed, which we're at 4.5 or something right now. So we only need a little bit more to hit that. And then 10,000 Twitter followers, which we're close to that too. So if you haven't liked the liked and subscribed right now on the YouTube, do that. Twitter, follow us. Super easy, and we'll give out another ticket for 3 free tickets for doing nothing, basically. So should be fun. I always like doing those ticket giveaways and then rooting on the people. Always a fun time.
Yeah, so hit that subscribe. We're at 4.48 right now. We need to get that to 5. And then, go follow us on the Twitter account and hit those likes, right? That's always going to help out a ton. That's going to wrap it up for us here, though. Let's kick it off with like kind of the injury stuff to look for and talk about on this slate. There's tons of news that's going to be coming that we have to wait on. The one thing, the Jimmy Butler news, the Bam Adebayo news, that's some of the biggest news that I think we have on this slate, because if those guys are out, right, Kelly Olynyk, Precious, those guards, all of them are going to become plays that were not in play, and now they're going to be almost locks, right? Guys that you're going to just be jamming into your lineups because there's so much usage to go around. OKC, they have some guys that are going to be out. We got like Horford, so there's going to be some interesting stuff there. You got Sabonis is questionable. You got the San Antonio guys, they're all still out. The Denver guys are still all out. Sacramento, we have a bunch of guys still out, and Kawhi Leonard's questionable. A lot to change here on this slate. We'll go game by game, and we will talk about it. JT, give me your slate overview. This slate is kind of similar to yesterday, right? We're going to have tons of news that could be coming, tons of adjustments that could happen. Are there any mistakes you made last night that you're trying to fix for tonight? Because I think these slates are very similar.
Yeah, I think the mistake I made last night was I reacted pretty well to the injury news, and I got Vucevic in my lineup, and I got Trae Young in my lineup, and Embiid outscoring Vucevic by 30 points was one of the most hurtful things that's happened to me in the NBA this season. A shorthanded Orlando team where we've seen Vucevic go crazy. Embiid was priced up in not the best matchup, kind of a slower matchup. So definitely be paying attention to that tonight. But I am a little pissed off now that you mention it, to be honest. Travis, do you guys want to hear about it?
Yeah, what's going on? Why are you pissed off?
So the other night, again, Tuesday night, Travis, I'm so happy you're on today for reasons that you can't even imagine just yet. But I'm happy you're on. I enjoyed the Tuesday show, and we're going through the games, and a game that you guys both kind of hated, right? The Clippers and the Celtics. And I start talking about Patrick Beverley, and I said nobody ever wants to play Pat Bev. Tony was vomiting. I get it, right? But he was 3-8.
Talk him up. No, tell the story right. I talked him up with you.
Well, whatever.
Tony was more on your side than you think.
Yeah,
you're dressing up this story. You are dressing up
Get
the
back
story.
to your story, though. Go back.
So back to Tony vomiting, talking down my play. No, he bought into it a little bit as I start talking about it. I said, once Pat Bev gets to this price, right? And our chat starts just, oh, please don't make Pat Bev the ETP. Oh, my God. Why? Who cares? You've already shown through your small-mindedness and weakness of spirit that you're not going to play him. And what did he do? What did he do that night? He was 3.8K. He dropped 27 DraftKings points. You know what that is? That's 7X. You get 7X out of your 3K guys. You get the big guys right. You're going to win a tournament. So it was just disgusting and hurtful. And then on our Discord, now Kawhi gets ruled out. And guess what? That actually hurts Pat Bev because notorious ball hog Reggie Jackson comes into the lineup. He touches the ball. It's like watching Carmelo Anthony. He gets the ball in his hands, he shoots. He gets the ball in his hands, he shoots. And Reggie's still crushed. And there's a guy in Discord. No one runs toner. No one runs more pure than Big T with the Pat Beverley call. And I'm like, what? It was just, it was so crazy. So Simon, I need something from you. We need a like button for chat too. We need to be able to say when we like what they're doing or don't like what they're doing so that we can get them on the right path, because I had to do something I didn't want to do all day long going into that show. Pat Bev was the ET play. I knew he was going to smash, and I had to punish you. I had to punish you and make it Julius Randle, and then the Knicks got blown out, so it was the bad mojo. We just can't have that tonight.
Yeah, we don't want that bad mojo, right, Big T? That's not allowed here.
That was the best. The guy just randomly gave me all the credit for it. It's probably because he heard me getting your back on the show, though, because I did have my.
And you took it. You were like, yes, absolutely. I do.
Got the tail end of it.
I love it. You love to see it.
He did give me all the credit, though, for it. It was beautiful. That's when you're running pure. When you get the credit, like when you're running bad, you get, like JT would have talked about some scrub guy, and then I pick it up and he hears me talk about it, gives me the credit for the bad play. This time when I'm running pure, baby, I got the credit for the good call.
Yeah, Big T's heater just never ends, right? It's never
It
ending.
was good. I'm
Who
glad
hates to see it? But we love to see it actually. In reality, it's definitely been an awesome heater for you, Tony, and it's going to continue, and hopefully continues tonight for the subscribers here. And let's get that good mojo in the chat, and let's hit that like button. We got 492 watching. We got 174 likes, and after a game or so, we'll kind of pick the number to go with for the gear that we're going to be giving out for sure on this show. Let's start talking about these games. Let's go to the Wizards and the Clippers to kick it off. 7 o'clock game. Worth noting, we have 2 7 o'clock games, right? And this is a night where, there's going to be tons of reasons to backload stuff and looking at that. Is Big T 777 coming out tonight? Are we firing on the first couple games? We got the Clippers Wizards here first, Tony. Is this 236 total one that you're going after?
Yeah, it's definitely in play tonight to be Big T 777 because these early games are tasty, and the news is going to be crazy again tonight. I mean, there's lots of stuff that could happen. These early games, I mean, you got this game and then the Toronto game. I mean, Toronto is so shorthanded that I absolutely love them too when we get to that game. So definitely in play. Last night too, I wanted to talk about this for a second. So last night I have 20 teams on DraftKings and 3 main teams. So 3 teams in whatever the big tournament was, whatever it was. I don't even remember. I might not have even had 3 in the biggest one, like 3 in the 250 or whatever. 3 main teams that I messed around with and was pivoting based on the news and different things. And then the 17 that I had just in the small stuff, just in the $15 tournament and the $3 or whatever. All 17 of those cashed, which I didn't really change except the projections, and just kept rerunning it as the night went. And then my 3 main teams, none of them cashed. So that goes to show you sometimes you just got to let the numbers speak for themselves and not make too many adjustments based on things. So that sucked, but there's going to be a lot more news again tonight. I mean, we got to wait and see. There's so many guys that could sit. There's so many things that could change based on news right out of the gate. I mean, we got the Clippers in a great matchup. Kawhi, he hasn't been officially ruled out yet, right? But
he's questionable. Like, I don't know why he would even play in this game.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't make any sense. Like, I'm in the camp of you, like these guys getting like the longer breaks. So it makes no sense for him to play, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know. Like that would be annoying to me if guys somehow got ruled in instead of out, to where all of a sudden then the Clippers guys all would become way worse plays. But you got all these guys pretty much in play, especially on DraftKings. On FanDuel, well, Paul George is cheaper on FanDuel, but like Reggie Jackson is way better on DK. Serge Ibaka, way better on DK. Batum's good on both. Sweet Lou's pretty good on both. Pat Bev, JT's boy, definitely in play on both. I think these guys are all in play. And then, like always for Washington, Westbrook and Beal, every single freaking time are in play. They just keep crushing. And I don't usually pick on the Clippers, but Westbrook's got a history with Pat Bev too, going back 10, however many years now. These guys always get into it. So I like taking Westbrook and Pat Bev in this spot, kind of go back and forth. This game's great, 237. I think the game will stay close. I think Washington's good enough to stay with them. And, I mean, yeah, great game right out of the gate.
Yeah, and JT, we were talking before the show. We had the Discord chat is all over. Patrick Beverley, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook posting all the gifs in the chat. How are you handling this game? And is it Patrick Beverley season today?
The last time these teams, man, I think Beverly was more interested in trying to piss off Russ Westbrook than actually touch the ball. So he ended up with like 6.5 points or something. So I'm not so interested in him. The center position doesn't really stand out to me outside of a couple of guys tonight. But one guy in this game that I think is potentially sneaky is Zubac, because Ibaka's been playing between 20. Sometimes he'll get as many as 28 minutes. With this being the last game before the All-Star break, I think it's a spot where you could see Zubac get up to 24 minutes. And the last time he got that much run against his team, he really went for a big number. So Zubac at 4-3 is the guy that I like in this game. And then you have to love Paul George in this environment. And like Tony talked about, Reggie Jackson, even Lou Williams off the bench. I mean, he has had these games where he's done very well. It's usually been when more than just Kawhi is out. But in this environment that's so good for guards, you could literally play two or even three of these guys. You could play George, two of the guards, and you could play Zubac in this environment. And then on the other side, I think, obviously it's Beal and Westbrook on this team. Nobody else. I was looking at their minutes today. Even a guy like Rui, who they have a lot of faith in. They have plans in the future for the future. He's not playing more than 25, 26 minutes. So on the Washington side, it's really, really difficult to go any deeper than Russ or Beal on this biggest slate with all the value that's out there.
Yeah, and I mean, we know what Washington can do, right? They can mix up that bench way too much where it's like you don't know who's going to get run, which can be quite frustrating. And we definitely need that Clippers news on Kawhi Leonard. So I'm okay to move on from this game, Tony. I don't have much else to say. I think when the Kawhi news hits, we can kind of go back and touch on that. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, let's move on. Let's go talk about the Toronto Raptors and the Boston Celtics, because this is definitely what I want to talk to you guys about. And I am still kicking myself yesterday for not playing Norman Powell over on FanDuel. I felt like the projection was wrong, and I ended up just saying I don't have anything to spend on, so I'm going to play Brandon Ingram instead, right? And Norman Powell was just so good, and I was so tilted about it because I just had salary, right? And Tony, you're probably shaking your head at me because I'm so frustrated by that.
I'm so tired of you playing Brandon Ingram because he's underpriced.
I hate him.
All the compliments I've given you this year, that's
disappointed.
one thing I'm not complimenting you. You just keep playing him.
I'm disappointed in myself for sure, but I will say I had nowhere to spend my money, like literally nowhere, because of all the value that I like. That was the problem with everything. And I thought I was taking raw points, and I also didn't want to lock myself into something when news could happen. So I don't think it'll happen today, but his price did go up, right? DraftKings, he's $7K. FanDuel, he's $7.4. Tony, I wanted to ask you this. Is that still too cheap? Because I think he's still a pretty good play.
I can't wait. So I told JSU, I was talking to JSU on the phone last night. I told him, I said, I don't care what, from now on, whenever Toronto's in this spot, and this is saying it when these guys didn't go off last night, like to some crazy number. I said, whenever they're in this spot again, just please tell me to play these guys and not overthink it. So luckily today they come back in the same spot, and he calls me and says, just play these guys. I mean, Norman Powell is going to play 40-plus minutes. He's going to crush, and I'm going to play him tonight. I'm not going to overthink it because I learned my lesson just last night. I love these Toronto guys. I love Terrence Davis tonight. Everyone is not going to play him tonight because he let people down last night. I think he's a great play versus a team like Boston that they can kind of get him in there because of how the matchups are. Boston doesn't really have guys that are going to burn him on the defensive side of the ball. So it really lets him get extra run in there. Lowry and Powell, though, and Boucher even, they're going to smash. And I'm going heavy on Toronto tonight. The spread is like 9? I think this game stays close, though, which brings the Boston guys into play, too. Like you said, Big T, 7-7-7. I think this game's going to go way under-owned, and I absolutely love this game. And it just fits together super nice. Everything. You got Baines in a little bit of a revenge type spot at a super cheap price where he can play a little bit of minutes too. I really, really like this game.
Yeah, I do think there is some good opportunity here, and these guys didn't crush as much as they did in the past. We did just get some news on Derrick Rose being ruled out, so that's something we'll touch on when we get to that Knicks game. But yeah, I definitely want to kind of make sure to get some Norm Powell exposure here, and even some Chris Boucher. He's definitely got a ton of upside, I think, in this spot. JT, I'll go over to you. How are you handling the Raptors and the Celtics?
Yeah, I think especially coming off of that game last night, I think Toronto makes sense. They're still extremely short-handed. I'm not really all that interested, although I did see that Jaylen Brown is finally down to 8-2 on DraftKings. So, but Boston rotates those three centers. Daniel Tice is another guy whose price came down a little bit, 5-1 in a pretty good matchup for power forwards. He's had some success here. And then I think Powell makes sense. I think Boucher makes sense. Like I said, center seems to be not as deep as it normally is. I don't know about Lowry. Just that price 8-1 seems really fair and really accurate. And I think there's some other value that I might like a little bit more. But every time these guys are out, you see that Powell plays 40 some minutes and he's going to put up 24, 25 shots. And if he hits a few more of them tonight, then he'll put up a real big number. So yeah, I like that a lot.
Yep, I think that makes some sense there. Definitely going to be an interesting game to target. Big T, I want to ask you, so what's our number? We've been doing it this week, right? Is it the last day? Is it 500, 550? What are we doing here for the people? We got 600 about watching and 223 likes.
Yeah, this is the 500 week. Yesterday was the first day where we had a battle to get to it, too. It was way short. Today's starting a little slower at 223 likes. We got to keep the streak alive. 2 weeks ago, 400, easy. Last week, 450, easy. This week, 500's been a little tougher. I knew it would be because with our numbers, 500 it's a tough number. We need the people to come through for us, and I think they will. So 500 is still the number. Send the gear out. All-Star break, too. I'm going to get all the gear out, maybe even tomorrow because little extra time with no NBA slate tomorrow. I'm going to try to get it out tomorrow. So
you got the largest in?
Got the largest in, yep.
Nice. The largest are
in the hand. They're ready to go out. We are ready. I mean, whoever wins today, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to do it tomorrow because I want this off my plate going into the weekend.
And
you win today, the gear's going out.
You got Hector's ladies extra small?
He's already got one. The funny thing is I'm pretty sure I sent him a extra small. I'm pretty sure I might. I don't remember what I sent him. I think I did, though.
Did you send him that with the lunch that you owed him? Because I heard he's told me many times he beat Big T in a lunch bet. Is that the only bet you guys have made for lunch?
No, we bet another one, and I gave him like a 2-1 favorite, and I still took the dog. And yeah, I mean he did win the one though, and the one he won too. I took like a 2-1 dog on him too, and then he keeps rubbing it in. So
he rubs it in. I hear it
this weekend, Hector.
I hear it. So maybe I'll have to get. I might get in the UFC streets and have to, get some lunch bets in there. We'll have to see. But yeah, you guys will get us to that number. I have some faith. There might be less people here than normal, but it's because last day of the break. But these are the loyal and faithful. These are our favorites, right? So they're hanging with us, and we're excited to break it all down for you. Let's head on over to the next game where we get a little bit of a gap, and we just got some injury news, so it's perfect timing. We got the Pistons. We have the New York Knicks. Terrible total, right? I mean, 208. This is not the game to stack, but there is going to be some value here. Derrick Rose is out. Elfrid Payton, I believe, is still doubtful. We'll have to see what happens. I'm sure we're getting that news soon, but we saw quickly the other day, he ended up going for 41 fantasy points, while Alec Burks ended up struggling with like 11, right? I do think you could see Burks have a little bit of a better day where it could cut into quickly a bit, but price tag is still good over on DraftKings. He's 5.3K for quickly. You got Alec Burks. He is 4.5K. Seems like a strong value. Not afraid to chuck. JT, we'll go over to you first. How are you handling these New York Knicks and your boy, Julius Randle?
Yeah, I liked him. And then I started thinking about this game where the Pistons are coming off a rare blowout win, a shorthanded blowout win against Toronto. They're going to be shorthanded again tonight. And it just seems like such an immense letdown spot, especially for a guy like Dennis Smith Jr., who just went nuts last night, double-double with rebounds and assists. And can I see him doing that again? His price went down. He's still very cheap, but I almost see this as a stay-away game from a guy who's really been inconsistent. But then on the other side of it, they've got nobody. So these guys are going to be on the court forever. And I think we need that Payton news because he would really muck up that guard situation. If he's out, I think you go right back to quickly. I like to call on Burks. And this is a fantastic matchup for Julius Randle, but his price is up a little bit. I think if you're spending on Julius, it's probably at the expense of some of these other higher priced guys in much, much, much better game environments. So I think I'm off of Julius tonight, but do like these lower price plays.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. We got Steve Anthony in the chat, our boy, one of the loyals. No RPS NBA shows for the next 6 days. He's going to feel like an eternity. Steve, you got to be here for the NHL show, right? We'll have one tomorrow. We'll have the MMA, the NASCAR. If you just joined the show, hit that subscribe button so you can get notified when we do go live for those shows that we'll be having. We have you covered in all the sports, not just NBA. We'll go over to you, Big T. What's your take? I think you're going to like Alec Burks a little bit in tournaments as like a nice little pivot option that people might be afraid to go to. But what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, these slates are just crazy, man. Like you got a super low total here, but these guys are definitely in play. You're just going to have to weigh it. Like how much do you like, guys? You're going to have to fade good plays on slates like this. There's just so much news. There's so much value. There's so many studs that you're going to have to fade good plays. And, man, this game, I usually like Quickly and Burks. I might still like them tonight. But, man, the pace of the game, what JT said, Detroit coming off a big win yesterday. I could see Detroit really playing bad tonight, like laying a major stinker in there, getting blown out. They've played good, but I don't know. I have a bad feeling about this game. And what I'm trying to do better this year is you don't need to play everything. Like if you really like a game, like I love the Toronto game. I even like the first game. I like a few of the later games. Just play those games. Like you don't have to play every game, and you don't have to. If the game's ugly, just forget about it. If someone beats you, they beat you. And I'm kind of fine with that with this game. I don't know. I just don't feel good about it. I wish we could have Nerlens Noel at 55% again tonight so I could go on another rant about how he took one shot in 40 minutes. I mean, one shot.
I mean, listen, crazy things happen sometimes, Big T. But either the Big T heater, I mean, it's just it's out of control. So
I was happy that he didn't go for like a 50 though, because I would have never stopped. I would have never heard the end of it.
I was happy he got there, because if he didn't get there, I never would have heard the end of it. So we kind of just got to meet in the middle. Where
the funny thing is, like, I would have been willing to bet that he scored between like 22 and 28. Like, I'm so confident that that's his range. Unless he gets like just a ton of blocks, I don't see how he really ever gets above that.
Hey, he worked out for me. I ended up having a decent night, so I took my 26 and moved on, which I'm okay to do sometimes. But yeah, that was fun. I was happy we got to meet in the middle. No one got to make fun of the other. Get to keep the good mojo going. As we say. So, yeah, this is definitely a tough game to figure out. Saban Lee, Big T, talk about him. Is he somehow in play? I know you said fading the game makes sense, but he is 4.5K, and like, you could definitely see this being like, this is the perfect spot to just roll him out for 35 minutes or something. Like, are you maybe looking for like a coach quote? I know you're not a huge coach quote guy, but what if they just start him out of nowhere? Is that going to give you more confidence maybe to fire on him at 4.5K?
Yeah, I mean, if they started him, I don't know. Like, I really don't see why they'd run a different team than yesterday. He only played 21 minutes the last 4 games. I mean, yeah, if he started, he would definitely be more in play, but I don't know. I don't like this game, so I'm just going to play other dudes today. If one of these guys beats me, I'm kind of okay with it. I mean, I would just rather play Quickly, too. I mean, Quickly isn't much more. Going against Detroit, Quickly will play scrub time, too, I think, if it does blow out. Like, imagine Quickly getting fourth quarter run against these Detroit scrubs. I mean, he could get you 60. Like, it's not out of the question that he just goes totally nuclear.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. Let me go. JT, I want to talk to you, because I know if I ask Big T about this guy, he'll just make fun of me, right? And like, he did fine yesterday. He did great. I had the flame next to his name, and he'll tell me, oh, you got lucky. I just don't want to be yelled at or made fun of. Svi, what are we doing with him? He had 3.2K. He had 28 fantasy points. He was in my lineup yesterday. Ended up working out pretty well. I know Tony will never play him. Will you play him, JT?
You've got a better chance of, I don't know what, getting struck by lightning than Svi repeating that performance tonight. So
he's not going to go 5 for 9 from 3 again.
Yeah, no, thank you, Svi.
Hey, he could go 3 for 9, and that still would be 22 fantasy points. I mean, I would sign up for it at the 3.2K, and I know Tony would. He is down for the 3.2 guys to get.
I mean, if you guaranteed me that he's going to get that many points, absolutely, I would sign up for it in a second.
No, it's definitely a tougher spot for sure, though. And we have a lot of guys out, right? Like Josh Jackson's out. Jeremy Grant, he's probably not going to play. So it's definitely an encouraging spot for some of these Pistons. It's about, I think, nailing it down and looking at like the starting lineups and then deciding if you want to go with them. And they're not priorities, right? You can make a case to backload a little bit, because there are some better games that we will get to throughout the slate and that we can go and talk about here. Again, this
question is the one guy I wanted to ask is that, because the chat's bringing him up, and I wanted to ask, because what's the deal with Magruder playing 26 minutes yesterday? Because if he plays 26 again, like, he's definitely more in play to me than a guy like Svi.
I can let me pull up Popcorn Machine.
I think they're down Grant and Jackson at the forward position. So Magruder's probably the fourth string forward. You've got Blake that's not playing, Jackson and Grant are out. So now you're down to who? You're down to Svi, and you're down to, I guess, Magruder is his backup, right?
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm looking at the roster, and they just don't have forwards. Yeah.
I can read you like some of like the rotations from last night. I have them in front of me. So Magruder came in at the 4 minute and 49 mark in the first. He played a lot in the second, and he ended up he didn't even close the game, right? He ended up playing in the fourth. He played from the 12-minute mark to the 3-minute mark. So he was definitely mixing the rotation, right? He wasn't just like a beneficiary of blowout or anything like that. He was definitely given runs. So I could see him getting some run here. It wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world.
Especially,
yeah, like I think he's way better than a guy like Fee to me, and he's not going to be owned because he's not projected.
Oh yeah, definitely. He won't be owned at all. No one's going to be playing him. And the guys they ran last night, they ran the rotation was 2, 4, 6, 8. It was 10 guys, but the one of the guys wasn't really in the rotation. I can't even say his name. JSURab. I don't even know, but he played only that fourth quarter. So realistically, it was planning to be a 9-man rotation. If that helps you out with some stuff. One mistake I made last night. Oh, why didn't I fire on that 8-man rotation more on the Rockets when then PJ Tucker is one of the dudes, right? Like that was a mistake I made last night, that if we get another 8-man rotation, I'm definitely going to fire more on and not kind of make that mistake, especially against the Brooklyn Nets. Should have had more exposure to that, but we'll digress and go on to the next game. We'll talk about TitleTown's Bucks and the Memphis Grizzlies. 234 total here. And why are the Bucks only 6-point favorites, Tony? Like that looked like a really, really fishy line, right? I was shocked to see that. Is Giannis going to sit? Is Middleton going to sit? Or is that line right?
No, not with this. This is my pet peeve when people think people are going to sit because of the number. If Giannis sits, that number is going to move. It's not going to stay.
Oh, it's going to move. I agree with you. I was shocked to see that number though, because I think it's basically Vegas saying they don't respect the Bucks, right?
I think that's what it's saying too. It's definitely what it's saying. And I agree because the Bucks suck right now. They just haven't been good. It feels good because I know Mangone was on there with me too from the beginning where we just weren't high on Giannis. You watch him at the end of these games. Yeah, he's made Mangone a ton of money this year. I've played him a ton this year in fantasy, but pure basketball, you get to the end of these close games, he literally has to go stand in the corner for the last 5 minutes. He's supposed to be the best player in the world. He's won back-to-back or whatever he's won. I don't know if he's won 2. Has he won
back-to-back MVPs? Yes.
Yeah, like that's just embarrassing. He's never been even close to the best player in the world. He never will be. It's embarrassing that you have to go stand in the corner like that. But something's wrong with him. I mean, Drew Holiday's been banged up. Middleton hasn't looked that good. The line's probably correct. The Bucks have just been bad. And the Grizzlies match up decent with them. So I'm okay with the number. And fantasy-wise, though, this game looks like one of the easier fades to me ever for a 233, 234 total, whatever it is. I never thought I would say a game like that with Giannis and other studs is an easy fade. But on this slate where we got shorthanded teams across the board, it looks like an easy fade for me. But that being said, all of a sudden, like you said, if Giannis pops up sitting out, everyone becomes a good play really quick in this game. So it just shows how quick the news can change the slate. If everyone's in, easy fade for me, though.
Yeah, and one thing I think some people might go and bet the Bucks today, right? And I was talking with someone about it, and I was like, I wouldn't even bet the Bucks because, like, there's a better chance that guys on the Bucks side sit than the Memphis side. Like Memphis definitely has this game kind of circled a bit, right? Like they're a younger team. They don't have all these stars that are kind of, ready for the All-Star break and going to, go to Atlanta to play. Like this is a game where I wouldn't be surprised if Milwaukee randomly did sit some guys, right? That would not shock me at all. It is a high-paced spot, right? Ja Morant had a really nice game the other day. You could make the case that they're going to need Jonas Valanciunas' size a bit here in this spot. JT, any interest in the Memphis or Milwaukee side for you?
Yeah, maybe a little bit in some of these lower priced Memphis guys, but it's really difficult. Kyle Anderson is back now, and that means those rotations. A lot of these guys are going to be back to playing down to 20 minutes, and it's going to be really difficult to guess which one. I mean, they'll even play Valanciunas for 25 minutes. He had just a very disappointing game, even though he kind of got there the other night. I do have to say, Mango, and your pronunciation of whatever that name was, I thought it was
bad.
I thought it was perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. And one of our guys,
I didn't even hear him. Who was it?
Valanciunas. I don't think it was too pretty, but it is what it is.
No, the other guy, the Pistons guy. I don't even know who he is. I mean, whatever. But
that guy. I know you're talking. I don't know how to say that name.
One of our guys, Kevin Fallick. He's awesome. He's in the chat now. And he's just talking mad shit. I mean, Kevin, we got to get him on a show because Kevin, he's a great typist. He types in Discord all day long, very eloquent, makes great points, pretty charts. does our members a great service. But Kevin, you need to come in here with me and try and pronounce some of these goddamn names. All right. All right. Then you can talk some stuff. I love to see it. Love to see it. We got to get you on.
I want Phallic on one of these hockey shows. Come on, Phallic. Get on a hockey show, Phallic.
You should get on right now. You should get on right now.
I agree.
I would be down to have K Phallic on. Listen, K Phallic needs to understand. He's got to watch what he says to me because I'm like an FBI investigator in that Discord chat. I'll find anything and everything that he said that's a bad take. So watch out, K Phallic. Don't talk too much. But yeah, the Memphis and Milwaukee game. Giannis is a guy like JT. I'm looking at, right? Like I'm considering playing, and I think the reason I'm considering it a lot is one, he's a great fantasy producer. Vegas thinks this game might be a bit closer. It's a higher total. And I might just have a lot of money to spend up today. And I don't think I'm scared of Memphis down low, right? And if I'm not scared of Memphis down low, this is a decent spot for Giannis. And he's also made me some money, so it's easier to go back to him. But I'm kind of going back and forth. I think Jokic is my favorite spend on this slate. But Giannis is currently my 2, and I don't know if I'm prioritizing him yet. But how about you?
Yeah. So Giannis, first of all, yes. I mean, you see he's got, I think, just as many, if not more, 70-point fantasy point performances this year than Jokic. And Jokic probably is in a better matchup based not on pace, but on the way the other team operates and Jokic's game overall, how much he's involved even late in the game. What I will say about Giannis is priced at $11K. Yes, he can meet that price, but he's still priced as if they're missing Jrue Holiday. And that's one of the things I think we saw last game is, not quite as much reliance on Giannis when you've got more of those guys that can score. So it's something to think about. I think right now he's probably after Jokic, after Paul George, depending on that situation, even though he's much cheaper. And then after one of the 2 Washington guys for me. That's the way I kind of rank them right now. And I think we'll get to it here, but I think Jokic is probably at the top tonight, as he should be.
I'm with you on that. I think he should be at the top. It's definitely tougher to roster some of the Memphis guys because it is a bit crowded. I know Big T's not playing Desmond freaking Bain. I know what he's going to say, so I don't even have to ask. But yeah, I think this is a game that we can kind of move on from. The Discord.
Before we move on, do you know who outscored Desmond Bain the other night?
I'm assuming that was Patrick Beverley.
Yes.
Correct, JT.
Talk Desmond Bain.
Yeah, should have played Beverly instead. We got gifts in our Discord chat. If you are not in the Discord chat, you got to get on in over at Run Pure Sports. We have pictures of K Phallic being a keyboard warrior, typing up the keyboard, punching the screen. It's too good. It's a great time.
Typist. Did you call? That's what you said, right? A typist. I like that.
He's a fantastic typist. I
love that word.
I want to hear him speaking and trying to speak some of these names. That's what I want to hear.
I'm just imagining K Phallic like he's typing like this too, right? He's not typing like normal. That's how it.
No, he's too quick. He probably has 3 keyboards and he can type with one hand and he's amazing. He's amazing. This isn't like a disparagement. It's okay, fine. Sometimes the names. By the way, I think I pronounced most of these names right. I think you guys are wrong. That's just facts. So get over it. But I'd love to see him come on and speak these names. I think it would be fantastic. I wish he would jump on right now.
It would be great to get him on right now. Would love to see it. But we got to move on to the next game. Before we move on to the next game, I do want to talk about some of the stuff that we have over here at Run Pure Sports. Again, the free ticket contest that we're doing, all you got to do is sign up first-time sub for a monthly sub. You get use the code free ticket, and you can get in on the giveaway that we're doing. We'll be giving away a $600 ticket. We'll also be giving away to members too. We got to get those follows up. We got to get the subscribes up on the YouTube, and then we'll be giving that away. So be sure to get in on the giveaway. It's awesome, and it's a great chance to be able to ship something. And who doesn't want to try and play in a contest that's a little higher than normal that you play in Big T?
I mean, I love it. I love when these guys get a chance to step up and play a bigger one, give them a chance to change things. I mean, I know we got the initial idea from like Empire, our boy Empire, that was putting people in like 2 and 3K, 5K, maybe one-time tournaments. And then the dude shipped the one time for $100K. You can change your life in a hurry with one entry that ships something like that, because maybe it's tough in the small stakes where it's really hard to ship $100K playing $10 a night or whatever it is. So I love it. And I love also the line in the chat. I mean, somebody posted UFC adding JT versus Fallick to the card, JT minus 190. I would bet every dollar I've made this year at JT minus 190. The man does 400 push-ups a day. He's going to destroy Fallick in the ring.
Yeah,
I'm not entertaining this. I love Kevin. I'm just saying, I want to hear you come on and pronounce these names. That's all.
What would the line move after I bet 400K on
I think that the book might be closed. They might say we've taken enough action. I don't know if we can, take on this loss.
The man does 400 push-ups a day.
It wouldn't end well. And JT, I have a gift. There's a gift lurking in the Discord of me like giving you a leg kick. Like that's my only chance against you, JT. If I get in the arm's distance, I'm done. So
I mean, I saw that. It was hurtful. It was hurtful to think that you were gonna do anything to me that was gonna make me do anything other than giggle. I mean, that was just. I mean, kick me in the leg. That's fine. I'll laugh. I'll be like, go ahead, kick it again. You get 10 free kicks.
That's my one chance. That's my one chance. Those leg kicks, I gotta ruin that calf, and then maybe I
told you got 10 free kicks.
you better turn Herb Dean around and kick me in the balls. I'll tell you, that's the only chance you got. The only way you're getting it.
I'll get Hector in the corner. He'll distract Herb Dean, and then I'll get you in the nuts real quick.
That's like the old wrestling days. Someone turns the ref around, you come in with the chair.
Yep, exactly. We just got some news. Kawhi will play out of nowhere, but Marcus Morris won't play. He's got a concussion. Let's circle back to that game, right? Because that's the news that we were kind of waiting on. And I mean, I like Paul George's price a little bit. And of course, last game, obviously with Kawhi being out, he crushed that tag. Big T, how are you handling it? Does this somehow make Kawhi a better play? Because no one wants to stomach him after what happened last game.
I mean, I don't think I can play Kawhi the last game before the break on a slate like this. But, I mean, we should watch the news. I wouldn't be totally shocked if they turn around and just roll Paul George out and let Kawhi play or something. So, I don't know. The night is going to be crazy with news. We always say it. You got to be in Discord all night. You got to pay attention to the news. Stuff's going to hit all night. So, I know we had a big discussion going in the Discord earlier. You can't just run projections. I mean, other sites might tell you to do this, run the projections and win. You have to get in there and follow the news, make changes. NBA's hard work. And if it was easy to win in NBA, everyone would do it. We wouldn't be the only ones on there talking about the slate doing things. So, man, I don't think I can play Kawhi, though.
Yeah, I don't think I can play Kawhi. JT, can you play Kawhi? Or does that make Patrick Beverley an even better play or a worse play?
No, it makes me angry because I was kind of excited about this game, and now I'm I'm still somewhat interested on the Washington side, I guess. But yeah, it takes a little bit of our enjoyment away for this game anyway, because like we talked about, it's Beal and Russ, and you really don't want anyone. I mean, Garrison Matthews is starting; he's going to play like 14 minutes. And then there's going to be a bunch of guys that come in and rotate. So still interested in Zubac, though. So I shouldn't say my entire enjoyment is gone.
Yeah, and we got some news here that just came in. We got Grant. He is out. We got my house phone in this house that I don't know why we have ringing in the background. So you have to deal
Grandpa.
With
that. It's another scam for Grandpa.
Basically, that's what's basically going down.
I do love that you have a house phone going on.
It's amazing. And it's, I couldn't mask it because it was when I started talking about all the news. So it's just going to be ringing here in the background. Out as well. We knew that. Kelly Oubre as questionable. And when we get to the Warriors game, I think that's worth talking about a little bit because you could get an under-owned Kelly Oubre that could be interesting. But while we wait, there could be some more news that files in. I do have it right here, JT. Do you have yours? Our friends at Manscaped. I got the trimmer here. Do you have yours on hand with you, or is that in the closet? Not in the closet.
As the observant typist K Fallick already commented, you can see I'm not in my normal location, so I'm remote. I'm in the mountains, and I I don't have it. Do you have your boxers on though? The people still want to see this. I mean, they still want to see the boxers.
No, we currently don't have any boxers on over here in this house. So
Commando.
Oh, I mean, when you're in the house, of course. I mean, why not? Even out of the house sometimes. I mean, it's
in grandma's house too. All right. It's different.
So we got none of the boxer briefs are on right now, but maybe if we get those likes, maybe if we get those 1,000 likes, JT, one day we'll get there. We'll have to get that for the.
We're at 339. Where do we need to get to? Because
1,000. You need 1,000.
Yeah, 698 watching, 339 likes. That's just hurtful. That is. I can't believe this. How hard are we? This is why, Simon, we need the like for us. We need to be able to say yes, no, we're happy about it. I will say the comments are good. I'm chuckling. We've got some of our coordinators in there busting our balls, so it's good. But the likes are just disgusting right now.
Yeah, and by the way, this man has this is not my landline. I just want to mention this is not mine. I would not have a house phone, but it is what it is. It's
is that what you use to call the party lines late at night still, Travis? Is that
no,
running up grandma's bill?
No, definitely not. But you buried the lead. Big T, you want to know is did JT take the lady to the mountains, and is he having like a nice little weekend getaway? Is there a Rubio Dimes picnic going on?
You got a mirror in the background. This man is in more places. The most interesting man in the world. He should be in the commercials. He was on a boat shipping tournaments the one week. Now he might be in the mountains for All-Star break. I mean, is that an ironing board? What is that? Is that a telescope? Are you looking at the stars?
It's a telescope.
You're looking at the stars with the lady tonight?
It's not a telescope.
Yeah. We're going to have a glass of wine later and look at the stars. I'm going to set up my iPad so that we can watch NBA out of the corner. And, we'll see what happens. So it should be good.
So has JT ever done the picnic like Rubio? I mean, the people were making fun of him.
No.
You got like a chair? Like you pull a chair up and you just scope it up in the sky with your glass of wine?
Come on, Tony. You've been there. You've done this, right? No.
There's no way.
Big T has not been there and done this. Big T has not been there and looked at stars. I promise you that.
Sit down cross-legged on the carpet, and it's a private moment.
The only time Big T has ever used any type of telescope or binoculars is for him in the third leg gift. That's the only reason. That's the only time it's ever been done.
That one's a good one.
That is one of my favorite GIFs. That's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah,
I like that one.
So some people are questioning if there's a picnic. Are there any other activities, JT? I want to get a little more before we get to the next game. Anything else going on besides looking at the stars this weekend?
It's a family weekend, so we're up in the mountains. Some family's going to join us here tomorrow. We may go look at a property nearby. That might be on the agenda. And it's a quiet weekend. The only thing that's going on is UFC, so no one has to deal with me looking at my phone, which sometimes, like I said, can be a little bit annoying to those you love. So keep that in mind, people. But it should be good.
Yeah, that sounds good. And of course, because you shipped all those KBO giblets, you have something to do with them, right? You got to invest in the properties, and MLB will be coming around the corner, and JT will be bringing us all those winners very, very soon. So we got no more news that really leaked in. Like I said, the Kelly Oubre questionable thing, that could be very interesting as a low-owned play when we get to that game and talk about it. But we're going to go talk about Big T's team, the Nuggets and the Pacers. Tony, is it a Jokic night? And how are you handling this Pacers side?
Yeah, I mean, every night's a Jokic night. The dude is playing out of his mind, and I'm happy because we've been kind of on him the whole time and just keep playing him. He keeps crushing, coming off back-to-back 77, 73-point showings. Just a stud. I don't love the spot as much as normal, but, I mean, he's going to crush. It's Jokic, so I can play him anytime. Tons of cheap guys on the slate you can play. Definitely like him. And the one thing that sticks out to me in this game is what is that Brogdon price on FanDuel? I mean, he's down to 6,700 on FanDuel. Like, whoo, that looks cheap. So I don't know how I don't play that. I mean, that's just an insane price point. So I think I need to play that. And this game, though, I don't have a ton of interest. I know Kankar, or however you pronounce his name, looked pretty good the last two games. He's still 3K and 3,500. They're in the same spot with guys out. So I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps playing minutes, but it's a tough slate for that. Jokic, Brogdon, I mean, you can play Sabonis if you wanted to. I think decent spot for him, but that's where I'm looking.
Yeah, we got the chat saying TJ McConnell is not probably getting 10 steals tonight. That is correct. I doubt he is going for 10 steals again. JT, we'll go over to you. Are you on the TJ McConnell 10 steals night, or are you on Mr. Jokic?
No, that was amazing to watch. That his score just kept going up. I'm like, what is this? Is he juicing? What's going on? But Sabonis is questionable. Is he not still questionable?
He is still questionable. So we are waiting for that news, because obviously if he's out, Brogdon will at that price on FanDuel will probably become very chalky, I would assume.
He's not chalky already at that price?
I'm not sure. It depends. The slate can change at any time. I will admit, I haven't built as many teams today yet, because I know the slate is just going to change probably, but he probably is already pretty chalky.
6,700 is crazy for Brogdon.
And it is a good matchup, right? It is Denver. JT, how do you handle it though?
So yeah, I think if Sabonis is ruled out, I have interest in Miles Turner at 5.9 on DraftKings. I'll have interest in Brogdon as well. But I want to go back to Tony for a second, because you said you don't like this spot for Jokic, but you've been talking about these athletic bigs against Indiana. All right, athletic may be a stretch, but he does so much with the ball. I know that we were all high on Draymond in the same matchup. Why are you not so high on Jokic tonight?
Because he's not an athletic big. I like Jokic. I definitely don't want it to come across that I don't like Jokic. He's slow-footed too, so I don't know if it's as good a spot as someone like Draymond. But yeah, it's Jokic. The dude, he'll probably get 70 again. I love Jokic. I don't even want it to come across at all that I don't like him, but he's not an athletic. Every game, the best part about watching Jokic too, as he destroys everybody, every game, the announcers of the visiting team, I like to watch it just because they always talk about how unathletic he is. And it's just hilarious as he gets 70-something points against everyone. So he's the man. I don't want it to come across like that.
Yeah, and Denver is still shorthanded. None of those guys are back, so the usage and the minutes are still going to be there. I like Jokic quite a bit tonight in this spot. I think, especially if Sabonis is out, there's nobody that's going to guard him. And on the flip side, I think it would be Turner and Brogdon for me.
I'm with you. I think all those plays make sense. You can make a case for Will Barton. I don't hate him in this spot as a guy that could get a little hot. Jamal Murray, he's too expensive. I'd be out on him. And I don't even need to go to Michael Porter Jr. It just feels like the wrong slate for me. But we do need some injury news on the Sabonis situation. That will be important. Let's go to let's fade the Heat Pelicans game till the end. And the reason why is we definitely need that Butler and Bam news, and things can change. So we'll make that the last game to talk about on the slate. Let's go to the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs. 220 total. Tony, is this a game you're on? This feels like a game I think you just might fade altogether, but we do have Al Horford out for this game. So what does that do for you?
Yeah, this game is pretty much the easiest fade ever for me on a slate like this. Tons of news. The last game before the All-Star break, you got all kinds of guys questionable out. Horford's out now. Diallo's out. Popovich, the last night before the break, terrifies me with minutes. This is just a perfect example of a game where I have no interest, and I really don't even know what would drive me in that direction. You can play guys like Ty Jerome or Mike Muscala or these guys. It's fine, but I just don't want to go there. If it was anyone, it would be Ty Jerome for me. I'm definitely not playing Spurs guys. I have no interest in them.
Yeah, I had DeRozan on the cash chart, but I just took him off because I was like, man, I don't want to mess around with that today, right? It doesn't seem necessary to. That's the thing, because Popovich can be a problem. And I think on these kind of slates, it's good to lock yourself into guys that you feel safer about. I almost locked myself into Curry because I was like, man, I feel great about him against Portland, right? And sometimes it's just nice to lock yourself into something. And I don't know if I want to put myself on a guy like DeRozan here. JT, any interest in the Oklahoma City value? I did think Ty Jerome was an interesting play if you need a guard value spot. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, he is, at least on DraftKings, I think he's 3-4. And I think he's one of the better values of the night just because of how bad San Antonio has been against point guards in particular. And their second unit doesn't defend anyone. He's been playing 30 minutes a night at that price. I have no problem rolling him out there tonight. I think DeRozan you can play. I just think that your build tonight is going to probably be those low, 3.5, whatever to 4.5K guys, and then probably the 9 and 10K guys. So if you want to roll out something where you have DeRozan and a couple of other guys in the mid-range, I think it'll be different. But I agree that if I don't have to play the Spurs on a slate this big, then I'm going to try not to play the Spurs on a slate this big. And that's kind of the way I feel tonight. I don't think there's a whole ton of upside in either of the centers there tonight, which is usually a good matchup, especially against this team when Horford's out. So it's just not a lot of interest there for me.
This is one of those games too where I got to give the exception or the rule or whatever it's called. You're not allowed to tilt this game in Discord. Like if you played DeRozan or DeJounte or any Spurs guy, you're not allowed to go in this Discord later tonight and tilt because Popovich only gave him 27 minutes and it's just not allowed. This is the spot where Popovich is going to do stuff like that. You're not allowed to tilt in this game if you play guys. It's a rule.
So is K Fallek going to be tilting? Because he just said in the chat this is his favorite game of the slate. I don't see it. I don't know this. This isn't. I'm gonna have to talk to K Fallek later on.
There's always tomorrow, K Fallek. There's always tomorrow, my man.
Always tomorrow, just like his boy Scary Terry for Kentucky in football.
Every Saturday he wanted to play Scary Terry, and every week I said, "There's always next week, Fallek."
Yeah, no, that's
he likes. I know why. See, that's the thing, though. I can understand why he likes this game because Aldridge is out, because Horford's out. But on the OKC side, all these guys are priced up. I think Shea is 9K. Yeah, it's a good match.
So much.
He's 9K. I can't pay that price for him. DeRozan, at least at 8-1, he can get you to 50. Although this isn't a matchup that he's done well in, and I understand that they're shorthanded. But again, Popovich just does wild things, man. And he's been even more so this year. Even when they're shorthanded, he's been rolling guys out. I think the first game back after they had 10 or 12 days off because of the health and safety protocols, everybody played 24 minutes except for like DeJounte Murray. So I don't know. All these guys' prices just seem at their peak where they need absolute ceiling games, with the exception of the Ty Jerome on OKC.
All right, let's move on to the 10 o'clock games. And hey, like these two games, like there's a lot of flexibility that you can make. So backloading your lineups is not a bad thing. There's a lot of different routes that you can go. Expect a lot of ownership on these last two games and a lot to talk about. Before we talk about it, guys, we're struggling here, right? We got 15 minutes to get up to 500. We need 113 likes. You're at 387. I haven't said it that much this show. JT, how are we going to get these guys home here?
I don't know. I mean, I think we have to go back to a precedent that Hoop set earlier in the year, and that's that the plays don't come if we don't hit the number. I think that's fair. I think it's fair.
Tony, what are we doing on the last day of the break? Is that the official rule? We don't hit 500. Are we not giving the workbench, the Eiffel Tower? Is that going to be safe for the Discord?
Yeah, I mean, we'll still give it to the members. Obviously, we'll give it in the Discord and we'll give it on the core play sheet. But yeah, it's not going to come for free if we don't get the 500. It was a struggle yesterday too. We got a little bit slower going into the All-Star break. Thursday's always a little slower in general, but we still got to get to 500. It's just one of the requirements of the free plays. So yeah, we got to get there. We might not get there. Members will still get it though.
All right, good to know. Just want to make sure those members are taken care of. But guys, please hit the like. It helps us out. Even if you are a member, hit that like. It shows that you appreciate us, and we'll be giving you better content.
Stop talking about the Spurs game. The Spurs game is not winning the money tonight.
I think you missed Lyles night, because I did like Lyles the other night against the Knicks on the back-to-back. I just don't see the upside for Pirtle. I mean, he's 6'2". What's he going to get you, Tony? 36 in his best.
If he crushes, yeah, 36.
And he's got a tendency to only play. I mean, he'll probably play if. Again, we're talking about a coach that does some wild things. And with a normal coach, you'd say he's going to play 34, 35 minutes because they've got a week off. Don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even like if at the end of the night, I pull up the sheet at the end and I'm like, how'd I do in my tournaments? And I see this game as the top winner. Like, I'm okay. I'll go into the All-Star. I'll be fine. I'll sleep well at night if this game beats me, because I'm not even – it's like the other night when my man Fallek and JT both were loving Gary Trent. I said, if Gary Trent beats me, I'll sleep well tonight because he's never going to beat me.
All right, well, we just got some news on Zion being doubtful, so that could change.
Zion's going to sit. I mean, tonight's going to be crazy with this freaking
Yeah,
news.
I do, Tony. I need you to address Mr. Brett M in the chat. He goes, as a member, I'm not liking. Now that's hurtful, right? It's like
I gave the speech. I gave this speech last week with Hoop, where the members started saying that, and I almost respect it though. They pay their money. They want to keep the plays to themselves. I go back and forth because keep the good mojo by clicking the like button. So it goes one way, but I respect the hustle because they're already paying for the stuff and they don't want other people to get it for free. So I'm a little bit torn. I mean, we need to get JT to roll in because I do respect the hustle.
my problem is I see this number like yo-yoing back and forth where it's like 403, 406, 408, now back to 403. Like it's getting a little absurd here.
I mean, yeah. So that's the selfish way to look at it. It's a selfish way to look at it. As a community, don't you want to build the community, right? Right? You need to build the community. We need more people to join us, and this is how we do it. So the fewer likes we get, the fewer members that join, that's just the smaller the community is. I don't know how that feels. I don't think that's good. I don't think it's good at all.
It is yo-yoing like crazy too as we're talking about it. It goes from like 430 down to 400, and then they're just it's wild to watch it.
It just went from 425 to 410. I don't know if they're just messing with us now.
They're definitely just messing with us. They're playing with our emotions.
I know it's tough. We did have a really good message in the chat. I gotta find it again, JT. So Jay Bitchell said, JT, what's the range on that telescope? Can you see the workbench window? So can you see the workbench from there with that telescope there?
Listen, I can see just about anything with it. So I can see what you're doing. I can see what you're not. I can see when your little fucking finger is going don't like. I don't like that. I don't like it. I see it all. It's not good. It's not good. Let's get the likes up. You know what? Maybe we don't give them out. Maybe this is just a day where we have to have a reckoning and there are no plays. And maybe we don't give them in Discord either. Maybe we have to have a day, just like the other night, where I couldn't give you the play that I liked because of your hurtfulness. Maybe we have to do it.
Oh, man. We'll have to see what happens as it goes. So choose wisely with that like button. Warriors, Suns.
I do love that you got a telescope back there. That is so good. That's better than Tony. That's better than Tony Snell on the wall.
I almost moved it too. By the way, you bring up Tony Snell, who crushed again last night, hit a 3 for the win. And there was a stat today that one of our guys found on Twitter that Tony Snell has played the most minutes in the NBA without going to the foul line. And that's obvious to me. He doesn't need charity. He's a prolific scorer. And if you look at him, this man is straight out of the Congo. No one's going there. Players get within 10 feet of him and they're, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Snell, I'll go the other way. He threw down Tyler Hero, and that's the right way to pronounce it. I got in touch with his little Instagram girlfriend. She said he likes to be called the hero on the workbench. So that's the way he likes his name pronounced. That's how I do it.
You need to pull the telescope out for her, by the way.
He shooed the Miami guys away and picked them up. What a stud Tony Snell is. You guys are just missing the boat. He's just printing for people that play him. It's so sad.
Yeah, he definitely is. But JT, use that telescope and tell us what's happening in this Suns and Warriors game. Are we playing? Is Kelly Oubre going to be a play? Is it Brad Wanamaker chalk night, or do you go to a Damian Lee that Big T gave us on the workbench one time? How are you handling this Warriors news? Look into that telescope for us.
Yeah, so I actually looked at Damian Lee and saw that he only played like 16 minutes last night, and I did get a little bit excited. I mean, the problem is even with these guys out, the Warriors, Steve Kerr is another coach who I think you can trust some of these guys, but I don't want to go too heavy on the Warriors. There's a game that we'll get to in Portland again that I think is going to be pretty interesting as well with some guys out. My guy Buddy Hield, as I like to say it, Hield, right? Hield is the right way. Buddy Hield is questionable. That's a game that I'm a little bit interested in. This game, I mean, it strikes me, especially with those guys out, as kind of a slow-paced affair where I want. And actually, there's some news on the Suns side. So I think there could be some guys questionable there where Dario Saric is only 3.9 tonight. So I think it's the lower price guys in this game. Oubre being questionable at 5:30 on the East Coast suggests to me that he's probably not playing either. So there's definitely some value on the Golden State side in this game and potentially on the Phoenix side because this game isn't going to be close. There's just no two ways about it.
Yeah, we got some more news. Thibodeau says he's going to have to go through pregame and see who's available as far as point guard. So This is going to be a disaster. Definitely considering backloading for sure, but I don't know. We'll see.
I was going to take it the other way, though, man, going too. Like,
I knew you were. That's the best part.
I think this is a great slate. Like, we know what we're getting from Toronto. We know what we're getting from Boston. Lock in the 40 minutes from these dudes. Sit there happy all night as everyone else scrambles. This guy's out and this guy's in, and this scrub's going to play 25 minutes, and he's a great value. While you're just sitting there minted nice and early. You got a drink. You got the binoculars out with JT looking at whatever's in the neighbor's backyard. I mean, I love it. Lock these early dudes in. Yeah, you can go the other way too. Maybe the news breaks your way. Maybe you fall into something really special. But I think you can take it both directions. I mean, these Toronto guys, I just freaking absolutely love.
Yeah, I don't know. The problem, Big T, is I'm really good when the news is crazy. Like, I pride myself at being good at that. So that's the thing. That's why I like kind of, taking on the challenge, I guess. That's part of the DFS challenge for me. So, but
absolutely,
if you want to sit down with the lady with the telescope, Kyle Lowry is definitely an encouraging option. Definitely helps get that done. So we'll have to see. What are you doing with the Warriors, though? Because I really think Kelly Oubre, let's say he gets ruled in, that's going to be massive for him, right? I mean, he could be a low-owned guy with a massive amount of usage that no one is even considering. Andrew Wiggins, I think, is in play. I know Andrew Wiggins isn't the sexiest option, but he's going to have just all the usage in the world, and you have all these different guys that you can mess with on the Warriors. Now, the question is, will they go to guys like Nick Mannion and some of these G League guys and experiment? Because there is some talk of Steve Kerr doing that before the break. Tony, how are you handling these Golden State Warriors?
I mean, I don't understand why Oubre would play. I mean, they're already sitting. I mean, Curry and Draymond are out for sure, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just wouldn't shock me if it was out of nowhere because he's still questionable. And you think they would have ruled him out at 5:30 instead, right? Why didn't they just rule him out?
I can't imagine. I physically can't imagine playing Oubre on this slate, like under any circumstances. Like, they're a huge dog. I can't imagine playing Wiggins either, where these are not the guys I want to play on this slate. I mean, they're a huge dog against a good Phoenix team that Phoenix wants to make a statement. They've turned into one of the better teams, and they want to go into the break with a nice win over these scrubs from the Warriors. Man, I don't want to pay salary. If I play these guys, it's going to be the cheap guys for sure from Golden State.
Does Oubre have revenge on his mind? I mean, I know JT loves some revenge, but
even if he freaking does.
Yeah, it's something, obviously, like I said, I'm going to look at some of these Warriors. I'm going to pay close attention to some of the quotes, and maybe that'll drive me onto those guys later, or I'll just go over to that Kings and Blazers game, which is definitely one I want to talk about. JT, before we talk about that Kings and Blazers game, I know you're a little disappointed and upset that you didn't get the Draymond Green birthday narrative game tonight. How are you holding up over there without that?
Yeah, makes me so sad.
I know, makes you sad, but you have the telescope and the lady tonight to make up.
I'm as you can tell, things are well. Draymond's birthday doesn't matter. Kelly Oubre revenge doesn't matter. Revenge doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all.
All right, and we got some news. Thibodeau says that there's still possible that Elf and Nick Ntilikina could play tonight after doing drills. I mean, we'll see. That's
how hurtful was it? How hurtful was it that Ntilikina started the other night?
Oh, man. It was brutal because I saw it and I said, no, I needed a shooting guard too. I needed a cheap shooting guard. And I was like, this is going to be painful. I
just threw my phone. I threw my phone. I'm like, why is he doing this? So hurtful. And they got blown out. That's why, because he started that full.
Yes, exactly. Let's move on to talk about this game because this is a fun one. And if you look at the Kings, right, the way the Kings have been playing, they are playing some tight rotations. Buddy Hield, whereas I don't forget how you called him, JT. What would you call him? Buddy Hield, or what was the name?
Buddy Hield is the way that his parents pronounce his name, so that's what I use.
Okay, so Buddy Hield, he is questionable for this game, right? And listen, if you lose another body, especially one that's playing 38 minutes, and they're playing tight rotations, I mean, I don't know how you avoid them. And I'm typically someone that gets scared of Luke Walton. I wouldn't be shocked if it was a Kyle Guy night where he played 35 minutes out of nowhere and they just kind of benched some guys. That wouldn't shock me. But I think Luke Walton is really on the hot seat, Tony. I think he is just playing for his life. That's why you're seeing these tighter rotations. What do you think of these Kings? Because I think it's a really good spot for these guys, but I am scared of Luke Walton.
Yeah, I'm terrified of Luke. Besides Pop, I mean, Luke Walton's turned into like the second guy I fear the most because God, he just does crazy stuff where people will be doing well and all of a sudden he'll just like bench them randomly for the rest of the game. And I don't really know what causes it. Sometimes the matchups go your way though, where you fall into it. I know I had Bielisa for one of the big nights where he just rode him and he just got all the usage and just played like the whole game. And it was awesome. So when you catch the right side of the Luke Walton run, then you do get good too. But it's tough. I mean, if he sits, this is the late game. This is the perfect example of what Mangone's talking about, backloading. Who knows what happens with news late with these last two games, especially these last two games. There is a ton of good plays in these last two games that who knows what news hits, but all of a sudden if Buddy's out, I mean, Bielisa becomes a better play. Fox, everybody becomes a way better play if Buddy is not in there. If Buddy plays, he becomes a great play because he's found his shot a little bit the last couple of games with a couple pretty big games. So I can see it both directions. Sacramento is one of the worst defenses in the league. This is the spot. You can definitely play all of these Portland guys, Dame and Trent and Covington and Cantor and Carmelo, and everybody from Portland is in play. So I know it's redundant, and I always say it, but I think you can do it both ways. Play early dudes, backload like Mangone's saying, wait for news. There's so much news that can hit late that would make this Kings game the total nuts. I mean, if Buddy sits, who knows, maybe one other guy sits. What if somehow Dame sat at the last second? All of a sudden, a guy like Gary Trent, a guy like Covington and Melo, like they would become such good freaking plays out of nowhere that they would be the best plays on the slate if somehow Dame or somebody sat. So tons of stuff could happen before these late games.
Yeah, and I saw an article the other day, and I didn't get a chance to read it, but apparently Dame is going through some type of family stuff. So I wouldn't be shocked if he sat out of nowhere. It would not surprise me. We got 760 of you watching. We're at 450. We need 49 likes. So this is your chance to get that home.
Chance.
We're not giving the place out, right? So that is last chance to get it done. So push it home for us. We would appreciate it. JT, I'll go over to you. I like these Kings a lot. I really like these Blazers as well. Like, I mean, talk to me about it. I mean, I love Robert Covington in this spot. I think he's a phenomenal play. It's the perfect sloppy team, right? The Kings, they get blocked a ton at the rim. They also give up a ton of steals. Like, this is such an amazing spot for Covington, and I've been playing him. So what do you think of him as a great tournament option, and what do you think of these Kings and Mr. Damian Lillard?
Yeah, I think that you've got two teams that are both because of, honestly, injuries on both sides, right? It was the injury to Halliburton and to some degree the injury that's kept Whiteside out, or the disagreement with the team that's kept Whiteside out, that has forced Walton, along with the fact that he might lose his job, to shrink those rotations. And so you see Buddy Hield getting, 37, 38 minutes, even more than that a game. You see Fox playing as many minutes as he is. He loves Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes, no matter what, is going to see 36 to 40 minutes, and they're still all in the mid-range. And on the Blazers side, same thing. Even Carmelo Anthony he had another big game last night. It was kind of amazing watching him just shoot and actually hit his shots. So there's a ton of good plays in this game. I think it's going to go overlooked because of all the news and people are going to get a bit distracted. But I haven't seen anything that indicates that Dame would sit. His price, 10-7, is going to keep everybody off him. He just dropped 70 DraftKings points against this team about a month ago. And I heard Tony say everybody on the Blazers is in play. Does that mean Gary Trent's in play?
It's the best possible spot for him.
I think Gary Trent's in play. Yeah, I think Gary Trent's in play too. And he's 5'7". His price has come down a little bit. He had a really good matchup against Charlotte and didn't hit as many shots as I hoped he would, but he was up in the 6K range. Price comes down a little bit. I think it's a really good spot for him. And again, Hield was questionable yesterday, so same thing here. Maybe he plays, maybe he sits, but if he plays, he's a great play as well.
So this is my problem with Gary Trent. I said it the other day, like I've played Gary Trent a bunch, and this is one thing I've tried to get better at this year. And JSU always made fun of me. I mean, you look at this dude. He's 5,700. He literally hasn't broke 33 fantasy points in like 15 games. Like, that's outrageous. Like, I like Gary Trent. I want him to happen. I've played him so much. He just hasn't shown it. And that's shooting the ball a decent amount in a lot of these games. I mean, he's got 13 to 20 shots almost every game. He just can't. He just doesn't get there.
Yeah, he had a run the same way that Buddy had a run, right? Buddy had a run of about 2 weeks. He was cheap. He was 6'1", he was 6'2", he was taking 16 shots, but he was only hitting 4. And then all of a sudden he had that one game where everything went in. And then he did it again last night, second time, where okay, he's found the shot. But also with Buddy, he's playing more minutes now. Gary Trent played 40 minutes last night. So you've got 2 guys, one at 5'7", one at 6'3" if he plays. Let's say he doesn't play. You've still got Harrison Barnes at 7K. You've got Covington at, I think, 6K around there who's playing 40 minutes. This game, you've got 6 guys potentially, maybe 7, who are going to play 40 minutes at those prices. I think it's just a dream for fantasy. The one guy I'm a little bit cautious on is Canner, because the same thing, I think he's much more talented offensively than Nerlens Noel, but he's another guy where you see him start, he does well, the price goes up, and all of a sudden he doesn't seem to have a ceiling anymore. So Canner is a guy that I'm probably not as high on tonight.
Yeah, I'm not as high on Cantor, and I like I said, I love Covington in this spot. I think it's an awesome spot for him. And we got people in the chat, they're making fun of us for our pronunciation on Buddy. Guys, it's a joke for one, it's a show, and two, imagine like we're winning money in DFS and we're not saying the name right. So you love to see it. Big T, you got any final thoughts here? And then we got to decide what we're doing with the plays.
So the dude in chat, J10, says, I say we get up to 550, 600, and the non-subs get the plays. Subs on the site get a ticket. How many tickets? I gave out a $600 ticket on Monday. I mean, we can only give out so many freebies or all my giblets are going to be gone. You got to impress me. On Monday, I wasn't planning. When I started that show, I definitely was not planning on giving out a $600 ticket to some random dude on YouTube. But you guys impressed me. You blew me away. We were at 500 at like 5:30. We were at 600 not far after that. You guys earned it. Sitting at 470. That's not. That's not.
What, I mean, that's not. Money grows on trees. They think money grows on trees. We've got a couple of minutes. So So Simon, Travis talked earlier about the cash chart. Cash chart's a very impressive tool. Travis, talk to us about the cash chart, and then Simon has something we put together for you. It's a new enterprise for you, but I'm really proud of you about it. Tell us about the cash chart.
Oh no, this is a surprise that I didn't know about. Before we do that, I mentioned Manscaped before, but I got to talk about it one more time. Use the code RUNPURE20 for all the stuff you can get. The ball deodorant, that's the code. It gives you free shipping and gives you the 20% off. I didn't say that earlier. Wanted to make sure to mention that. You need 15 more likes, but I will talk about the cash chart. So yeah, the cash chart, right? JT, if you ever need a cash play, you're looking, let's say you're trying to fill out that tournament lineup, right? You pull up JT Hayes cores, you put in Patrick Beverly, you put in Tony Snell, and you need a stud, right? Head on in and check on the cash chart and see if there's a guy maybe I got highlighted. Maybe there's a stud at the shooting guard position that you didn't have that's on there. You can use the cash chart to fill out your lineup, because this isn't like, GBPs, you don't have to play all 5% owned guys, right? You can play a bunch of different guys. That's definitely something to do. I don't think, a picture.
Oh, Simon.
He's probably beating me up good. I got to see this picture.
Oh, I'm dying.
Oh, man, that is amazing. That is
it's coming out soon. It's just, look at this.
Oh, that is brutal.
Hit the like button now, man. I don't even know what.
I've heard there's no women in this room. I don't know. They asked. I said, someone saw this online. I said, Brad, they told me it's like Netflix. So it's like a streaming thing, and it'll be good. But Mangone making his big screen debut.
Oh man, that is too good. And if that doesn't get the likes home, if that doesn't get the good mojo for me to ship everything tonight, I mean, what is, right? That is amazing. So yeah, the cash chart, it's awesome. It's great. I do it. Hoop does it. We have it for all the different sports. I'm sure we'll have it for MLB, NFL, all of them. We got it for PGA. So check that out. And Jason Mayo, I love the comment. Travis is a snack. That's my favorite comment so far of the day in the chat. We got to the 500, Tony. So what are we doing here? We giving away the plays? We giving away a t-shirt?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're going to give away some gear. They came through for us. They got to the 500 when it was looking dark. Gary's typed in the chat too 400 times. We got to talk about the Miami game still, because Gary's panicked here. He's full panic that we haven't got into the Miami game yet. Gary, I'll circle back right now for you, my man.
All right, so Miami game. We got to be quick because we got the Zion news, right? And you're making fun of me and Brandon Ingram. Can we play him, Brandon Ingram, now?
God.
I think we can maybe now, right? Lonzo, even maybe Eric Bledsoe, JT's boy.
Yeah, I mean, if Zion is out, this game becomes very interesting. I mean, even guys like Josh Hart, basically everyone becomes more in play, including my boy Hernan Gomez. I mean, I love Big Willie. He's not questionable or anything, is he? Yeah, I mean, I would like him a ton tonight if Zion's out. Everyone becomes in play if Zion's out, including Ingram, Lonzo, Bledsoe. It's the funny thing about the news. If one big domino falls, the biggest domino in the league, Zion, biggest boy in the league, then all these dudes are in play. Same thing with Miami. I mean, there's definitely a scenario in this game where Zion, Bam, and Jimmy all sit, and all of a sudden this game, everyone in the game becomes a great play. Literally everyone else in the game, because it just lines up perfectly. So it's just an example. What time does this game start? 8:30? Tough time slot, because you got a ton of early games before that. Depending on when the news hits, maybe on your backloaded team, this is one of your backloaded teams where wait on the news here. If it hits, you play it. If it doesn't, wait for the late games.
All right, JT, talk to me about it. How are you handling this Heat and Pelicans game before Gary has a panic attack?
Yeah, so we got to take care of our guy, Gary, but props to Austin Young, by the way, who was the artist for that classic masterpiece. Gotta thank him. And he did it on short notice, too. We talked about it around 4 o'clock, and boom, he popped it out.
You guys did it in the Discord behind my back? I wasn't there watching?
No, we hit the DMs, Travis. We didn't want you to see it, and then I got on early to talk to Simon. Come on, I know how to do a little sabotage. So
I said you know how to set something up. You got a telescope tonight. You know what you're doing, JT.
Yeah, this is my first rodeo. Come on, man.
I mean, the man's been at the FBI his whole life. I told him yesterday. I mean, he's an informant.
Tony's making up jobs for me. It's fantastic. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. So we definitely need news. The one thing I'll say about this, the matchup for the Miami guards, if Jimmy's out, and even if Bam is in, but in particular if he's out, is they've just been getting crushed by guards. Both Kobe White had a little bit of a down game last night, but Levine lit them up last night. And this is a situation where you could play a couple of guards from Miami. You could play a couple of the guards from the Clippers, and then you could move on to your more expensive pieces, because that's how good this matchup is. So on the flip side, yeah, if Zion's out, there's a ton of usage and a ton of minutes to go around. Definitely Brandon Ingram is underpriced then for this matchup. The issue with Ingram is there hasn't been that usage to go around, because you've got literally 4 scorers that take the court on that first unit. So without Zion, I think it becomes a great matchup for him, for Lonzo. Bledsoe is, in play, but Josh Hart's a better. And on that second unit too, Josh Hart gets a lot of rebounds. So if Bam is out, that's also good for a guy like Josh Hart.
Yeah, and we got I just kind of ran some stuff quick for Zion being off the court, and it might be because of, I don't know why, but Nickel Alexander-Walker at 3K is popping up, and maybe it's because Ingram slides down to the 4, and then they kind of get some more guard spots for him, and I don't know, he could be interesting, definitely a tournament play, so I don't mind that, taking a shot on him. Let's go to the plays of the day. JT, we'll go over to you first. We got the Eiffel Tower play. We're using the telescope. We're looking out at the Eiffel Tower. What do we see there, JT? Hit me with it.
Yeah, there's so much news here that it's really tough. We still got so much time, but it's a guy I talked about earlier in a matchup that I don't think, and that's the key with these plays, right? Is plays that we think are going to crush that nobody's going to be on. And the Wizards have yielded so many points to centers all year long. They just have nobody to defend the rim. And I think it's a situation where Zubac is going to see 24 minutes plus. So Ivica Zubac from the Los Angeles Clippers, Eiffel Tower play of the day.
All right. I will give you my play of the day. I don't know if it's the same graphic of me, but I don't know.
I hope it is.
The cash short
play of the day. Yeah, the cash short play of the day. I don't know, sponsored by them. I'm not sure, but I'm going Mr. Robert Covington. He's been absolutely printing, especially on FanDuel, where those steals and blocks matter in a game where, listen, this isn't the Suns where they're a nice pinned up team. This is the Kings where those stats are there's a lot of them, right? There's a lot of blocks. There's a lot of steals. I love Mr. Robert Covington on DraftKings and FanDuel. I think he has that 40-point ceiling tonight, 50-point. You're going to see a nice game out of him. Big T, give me the workbench play of the day.
I mean, if I could do that picture as the workbench play of the day, that thing, Simon is the MVP today, or whoever came up with this picture. Simon for putting it on the show. I mean, Whoo, that makes the picnic one even look weak because I like the bar photo of Mangone, but the workbench today is definitely going to come from my Toronto team. I went back and forth between Boucher and Terrence Davis. I think I'm going to go with Terrence Davis, though. I feel very, very good about a bounce back for him. Last night he went, let's pull his stats up. He went 2 for 11 from the field. He played 21 minutes against Detroit. I think this matchup tonight is better, even though it's against Boston. I think he actually makes some shots. He's in the same spot. He's priced up a little higher on a night. No one's really going to want to play him, so he'll definitely be low owned. And I like Toronto a ton, so I'm going to go with Terrence Davis, workbench play of the night.
All right, Terrence Davis, workbench play of the night. Do we have a winner for the chat? Or are we giving it away to the guy who made the picture? Is that the call, Big T? What do we want to do here?
You can pick whoever you want out of the chat. Pick I don't know. Were they? You were serious about someone making that picture?
Someone made it. JT said, "Yeah, one of our chatters, right?"
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if it was whoever made that picture deserves some gear, so we'll go with whoever that was.
Austin Young.
All right. Oh, he's
Austin Young too. I like Austin Young. He's made a lot of impacts lately on the chat, and we should hook him up.
So
he does. He checks all the boxes. He's positive. He's respectful. He contributes in an efficient manner. We love him.
All right. Well, I got to go with 10 to the bar, guys, and take care of stuff. But we got to get on out of here. I got to take care of the cash chart for the people. For me, Mangone, JT, and Big T. See you guys later.